afternoon, everybody. Every June the 1st, our viewers hear us talk about hurricane preparedness. In fact, the stories and the public service announcements start weeks in advance. This past Wednesday night, we debuted our 2012 hurricane special with Dennis Phillips and our team of meteorologists. And crisis experts tell us it's a safety message that you just can't say enough. And joining us in the studios with more, we welcome Linda Biller, who's with the American Red Cross, Florida West Coast region. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Who would you say is the target audience as we get ready, the first day of hurricane season? These are who?
You know, quite honestly, it's all of your viewers, but I think more than anything, it's those folks who've been in Florida for a long time, haven't been hit by a storm, and think it's not going to happen to us. So people become complacent. They think, oh, I have that kit downstairs in my garage, and I don't really need to go and check and make sure everything's there, because really nothing's going to happen here in Tampa. But we know that it only takes one storm.
What are the top 3 things you think that folks should do getting ready for a storm?
I think the top 3 things are get a kit, or make sure everything that you haven't had in your kit is still there and still current. Make a plan with your family, a plan to where you're going to evacuate to, or if you're in 2 different areas, where you can meet up, how you can get back together. Talk about what your plan will be as far as an emergency contact out of the area. And then finally, really being informed, because certainly watching ABC Action News is the best way to stay on top of things and know that the difference between a watch and a warning, and know what to do when that storm is coming.
So many times we talk about the things that you should have, but you were saying that there's a lot of things that people don't think about that are equally important. And can you give us some of those?
Sure. A lot of times people will think the basics: food, water, medication, for example, and those are things you definitely want to have between 3 and 7 day supply, a 7-day supply of medication for sure. But there are things that are everyday items that you should have backups of, like contact lenses, your extra pair of glasses. If you wear a hearing aid, you want to have an extra set of batteries. Folks don't think about that. They just simply think of the medication. If you have children, you want to make sure that you have baby formula, extra diapers, extra bottles. If you have pets, I have a wonderful chocolate lab, and I can't imagine him not being with me at the shelter or a hotel, but I also can't imagine not having food for him.
Right.
If he's on medication, having medication. If you have kitties that you're taking with you, kitty litter. And
for folks who live in evacuation zones, you were saying about the identification. You should check it before a storm to make sure it has your address. Why?
Because if you're in an area that has been affected by the storm, many times you have to show that identification with your address to get back into that neighborhood. And a lot of folks don't think about that. If you've moved recently, you may still have your driver's license with your old address, but it's really important to have that current address on there.
Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for helping us get our viewers ready for the start of the Atlantic hurricane season 2012. If you would like more information from the American Red Cross, they have wonderful resources and lists of information on their website. You can visit them at flwestcoastredcross.org, and of course you can visit them on Facebook, Tampa Red Cross. And remember to follow Positively Tampa Bay. You can follow us on Facebook.